know you can
Undisputed,
with this side chick story coming up.
We need to talk about it, right?
up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jammies.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So
pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
First, there has to be a conversation, like you said. There has to be a conversation with the wife, with the woman, that if we are going to have a relationship, then that relationship must be built on certain foundations. And those foundations must give me the unalienable right to execute upon your child as mine.
Okay. Yes.
Those are conversations that must happen.
They're the difficult conversations, but they're the conversations that need to happen.
But the problem is in a lot of relationships, and I say this a lot of times, most people view relationships like it's a fling. right? But relationships are serious business.
Yeah.
And the moment you don't get categorical about certain things in a relationship, it's just going to happen like all other flimsy things in your life. You just, if you are there to catch cruise, just catch cruise and be going.
And be honest about it.
And be honest about it. Yeah. But if you're there to build a family, build a relationship, then there must be difficult conversations that must be had. Now, if I'm seeing it on social media, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, it's just wash. Now, not that it didn't happen, not that it's not painful, but excuse me. If I fathered the girl from she was 4 months and it's her graduation, why am I not the one funding it? Why am I not the one deciding who's the guest?
He probably, I think I'm not sure, but he probably funded that as well.
Baba, if I funded that meeting and I'm not invited, I close it.
You can't close it. It's not that type of situation now. It's all these Yankee graduations admitted.
So I think societal wise,
if I was the one, I'm showing up. I'm sure.
And
if I funded it, they should bounce me when I get there.
Granted access.
If I funded it,
when I get there and I tell them it's my daughter, they'll confirm she's my daughter.
Who is giving the access?
At this point, 2 people will show up. You might not show up. I would definitely not show up. And it's
won't show up
because there's a difference in opinions, and that's what we do on the block.
That's enough hours to pack the things in the house.
But we need to move on to our next quick fire.
Without leaving an address.
Okay,
no
so
address.
I want to ask this question before I read the story. You travel quite a lot, and of course the other guys here do that too. But have you ever paid for a visa and you got denied?
Yes.
Yes. Now, isn't
that why we're still here?
Okay, All right. So let's talk about visa, denials. Reform My Money Back. Zambian president says, he is demanded that the European Union and United Kingdom should refund visa application fees for every rejected Zambian applicant. I'm adding Nigerian applicants too. The announcement made highlights growing concerns over the high cost and frequent rejections of visa applications, which have impacted many Zambians seeking to travel for tourism, business, or education. The president argues that visa fees should only be charged for successful applications, emphasizing that rejected applicants should not bear the cost of administrative processes that ultimately deny them entry. Presidential pettiness or overdue justice. Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it.
He's right. I'll just round this up. Last year, I think October, I was trying to go on a holiday to the US. Bro, it's an actual holiday, to the US in December. Hang with my sisters and my brothers and stuff like that. And I got denied. And due to the process, right, they'll tell you, Abuja is the safest bet. This one is the... So I'm like, you know what? They say Abuja is the spot, right? So no problem. So I go to Abuja, right? So what would typically cost me 700, 500 and above, I spent like 1.8 M, right? I had to go to Abuja, take a hotel that's really close to the embassy. It's literally on the other side of the road. It's pretty expensive. I go there like 2 days ahead, so my head is clear. Whatever for whatnot. And then, I go there early and all of that stuff. So
you did everything right?
Bro, every single thing right. And while I was there, before I even got to the spot, I looked at the amount of people that came out with the pink slip. Right? the pink slip is the rejection. The rejection. I looked at the amount of people that came out with the pink slip, and I did an average of, if I did like 500K per person for the application, it's multi-millions with the multitude of people that were there as at 8:30 in the morning. I was there, my session was for 8, so I was there way earlier. And I'm looking at people trooping, and I look out and I see batch 10
people
o'clock,
right behind you,
batch 10:30, 11:30, and all of that stuff, you see. So it's so much money being taken, right, that deserves to be refunded.
No real accountability.
Right? Yeah, of course. So you stand there, you ask me, I'm sorry, it might be my pride, but you stand there and you're trying to question why I'm trying to travel. And I'm like, I understand why, but I'm like, I'm trying to go on holiday, bro. Then I've got this. I show you my pod, I show you my radio stuff, I show you, there's no reason to leave. Do you see? Me, Salo, I'm not running, right? Yeah, all of these things. And you give me a pink slip. And I'm like, what? I looked at the guy, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's quite confusing because a lot of times
what is this?
People are not clear on what the criteria are. I know recently one of the top immigration officials in the US came out to say, okay, you know what? The reason why people get denied often is that they're applying for the wrong type of visas. But I feel if we are not being stepped on in this part of the world or colonized, so to say, there should be clarity on it. Very simple. So that people from the very beginning get-go knows, okay, I don't qualify for this. So I probably shouldn't. But you don't take my money and call it a part of the processing fee, and then you know very well from my documents that I do not qualify for the visa. I think it's wrong, and then Africans have been shortchanged.
Let me say one more thing. This is brilliant. I just remembered. So there's this couple, older couple, right? They're before me, like maybe 4 people before me. I'm sorry, right? And then the kid is graduating from Harvard. I swear down, I just remembered. And he's questioning, and I'm listening to it, right? And then she says, oh, the previous kid went to Harvard as well. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
So money is not the problem. They're going for their final, this is the last child, they're going for the graduation. Do you know that they denied the father, they gave the mother?
Nobody gets sense in that.
It was so daft. I'm sorry, Mogboyinbo men, I always say that, you see, logically justifying it, why are they both not going? These are not people, what do they want you to run to where? So they get shot in your country? Nah, man, it's war against these guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Deny people, taking people's money for absolutely no goddamn reason.
Okay.
Gang, I know you've been taking this in.
No, but
carry on.
The thing is, the truth is there is a cost to the administrative process. Am I right or am I right?
No, you're right.
There is a cost to the process, the investigations, and so many things they need to do with the information you give them. There is a cost for that. So now the question now is that, are we supposed to just grant everybody a visa because they paid?
No.
You get me?
When you deny refund.
So then what happens to the cost of some of the procedures?
It would be factored into it.
So they should take out
if the average cost of if the average cost is 350, 400, right? Deem it the extra cost, administrative cost, operational cost. There are many English terminologies that you can use to justify these things. And then refund the main cost of the visa application itself. The actual cost. I'm on $250, $350, whatever the thing is.
Exactly.
Return the remaining. Take your operational or administrative costs and refund the rest.
So let's say I was a politician or a man in political power.
I would say very ugly, bro. That thing. You know that thing where they did behind invoice. Yes, and that's what it's in now.
No, but see,
even cheap stuff.
On a good day, okay, let me be a devil's advocate now. On a good day, right? That is the reason why you shouldn't have access to my country in the first place.
What is the reason why?
The attitude of that people are presenting with this story is the reason why you're being rejected in the first place.
Why talk to me. Why am I being rejected? I should see it as a gateway to heaven.
If you're trying to woo a woman,
yes, please,
and she tells you no on the first try, do you take it personal and not try again?
It doesn't work that way. That's not what it is.
So, gang, I get what you're trying to say.
So you try again.
But the thing still remains. It's like trying to get
Niger mentality, gang. Wait first. What are you talking about, gang?
Quite a lot.
I should try again.
And these processes are not supposed
to be that complicated.
The country is hard, bro.
That is why don't leave the country.
A lot of Zambians.
If I'm your leader, I'll tell you then stay here.
People, South Africans,
why do you want to leave
are trying to live
we should all stay here and suffer together.
I'm going on holiday, bro. I'm going on holiday.
This thing is simple.
Now travel visa, I want you to come up for you. God forbid bad thing. You know before reach like that.
Holiday in Ghana.
Bruv.
Holiday
what the hell?
In Calabar. Holiday in Port
travel, then I run away. Hey,
Jesus. I'll come back to you.
Nah, man, stop.
What we just finished talking about on this quick fire. It's titled our next story, and then I think this might help, explain things a bit further. This has to do with recolonization. Now, Eric Prince, a former U.S. Navy officer and founder of the American private military company Blackwater, has stirred controversy with his recent comments on Africa. He suggested that African countries should undergo recolonization due to what he perceives as widespread corruption, selfishness among our leaders, Prince shared this view in a short clip posted on X by African Facts Zone, claiming that if African nations struggle with self-governance, it might be time for them to be invaded. There's a video. Please, let's check out the video and then we discuss this on the Black Table.
Then it's time for us to just put the imperial hat back on to say, we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves, because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake.
Exactly.
National security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens because the governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris instead of actually making their country better.
People on the left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Eric Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely.
All right. So, interesting video, interesting things you have to say. Kingsley, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
There are certain things that we need to check. First things first, are African leaders corrupt? Yes. Check. Yes. Check.
Are we black?
Are we black? Yes. Check. As Africa develop to the potentials that it should, as a continent, be today? No. Check. No. Okay. Are our leaders, taking resources, financial resources, and going abroad to spend them? Check. Now, based on everything he said, is he right to talk that way?
If we put it on the context of right or wrong, we may be backing up the wrong tree.
Okay.
Because what he has expressed is an opinion, and that's his opinion to express.
Yeah.
But he has never been colonized, so he has
no idea
of what it means to be colonized. So if you're saying that, let's recolonize Africa, we need to understand what exactly are you saying? What are you asking? I would. Let me not play the devil's advocate, but let me come from a point of view.
Already
he said he's angel's advocate.
Angel's advocate.
He said he's angel's advocate, but I'm coming from another perspective.
Okay.
Everything that he has outlined, are those things synonymous with only African leaders?
Thank you.
Very true, actually.
Wait, what?
Everything he outlined.
You lost for a minute.
Everything he outlined.
I'm like,
are they synonymous with only African leaders?
Largely, yes.
Are they?
Largely, yes.
Are there no other foreign powers that we can attribute the same thing to?
Yeah, there are.
With the level of resources that we do? No.
We're talking about numbers here. And the game of numbers is spot on.
Where do you think we learned it from?
No. Let's not do that. We say where did we learn it from?
Can I say something? Let me. I want to jump in real quick, as usual. Like
please be careful when you land.
Let me tell you why I support what Kingsley is saying. The corruption that exists in Africa, in Nigeria, and other countries,
of course,
right, can only exist with the cooperation of the so-called white man.
So I'll do you one.
Let me give you an example.
I think that
where is our loot? Our loot now. The Swiss banks, Abacha loot that keeps coming out every other year. Where do you think this money is? The money that Nigerian politicians are looting, do you think it's in Nigerian banks?
No, it's not.
Do you understand? Those islands, those other countries, those European countries that the money is in, are they owned by black people? Are they owned by Africans? I am telling you now that the corruption would not exist if the cooperation of the foreigners is not involved as well. Forget our own nature. Even if we choose to be corrupt, if they do not support our corruption, it would not exist.
And that does not excuse the corruption.
No, I disagree.
That does not excuse
it. It doesn't excuse it.
It doesn't excuse it.
But then at the same time, some people now, here's the funny thing. The reason why this fool can say what he says is because he comes from a place of privilege. It was a black man that made that comment, they wouldn't attack him as much. I've heard people say, yes, Nigeria was colonized and we got independence a little bit too early. That we shouldn't have gotten independence as early as we got it. So those discussions have been there by fellow black people. But he's coming from a place of privilege. Like Kingsley said, he hasn't been colonized. It's just like if somebody came and said, let's go back to the slave trade era, that it might make black people better.
Isn't that statement close to that?
It's very close to that.
And it's similar to when somebody says, if they don't give us this, we'll declare war. I've spoken to different people
It's
that
quite a
have been in war, and they say, if you've been in war before, you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
It's not even a worst case consideration.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So it should not even be an option on the table.
It's not an option on the table.
The funny thing is that this guy actually thinks that would solve corruption and what's going on in Africa.
Yeah. Kingsley, hold on.
Wow,
Jones.
No, it's
Quincy,
okay.
let's hear you.
Look, so I'll be honest. Biting off what you said, if this was said by an African man, it would not get this much uproar.
Yeah.
Okay. To be very honest, why a lot of people are losing this stuff is because he's white. Let's start from there. Then number two, I don't entirely disagree with what he's saying. Right? They're not saints. No, they're not.
Yeah.
But was the system a little bit more functional than now? I don't think you people understand the level of corruptional decay in this country, bro. Sorry. If you properly get into the banking sector, right? You're talking about monies being kept overseas. It's not a white man, black man situation.
It's a good thing you said that. Do you know that the top 10, sorry, just add to what you said, the top 10 most profitable companies in Nigeria, we have 7 banks. How does that make sense?
Continue. I want to hear what you're saying.
It's not a white man, black man situation. It's just taking money out of the country. That's it. For safekeeping in a more stable economy. That's all it is. It's not a white man, oh, they're enabling us. No, it's not. It's not. And then there's a different situation. Your countrymen are traveling to lobby for these things. They go to corporations, sit with top guys at top industries externally and lobby for stuff. Tell them I want to run for presidency. Sorry, not presidency. I want to run for a political office in so place. Burkina Faso, Namibia. I want to run for these things. You can fund me. Don't worry. I have my people. I will win. And if I win, this is what you get. The same way it happens. Godfatherism within your current economy. I'm not saying he was right or he's right. No, but bruv, don't be too
critical. Not
even critical. Don't be too I'm Nigerian, patriotic to overlook what the nonsense that is going on in this country.
Can I say something? Can I say something? One more thing before you say what you're going to say.
So we'll hear from you, Dan, hear from Kingsley, and then we'll go on a short break.
Quincy, everything you said is valid, and that is why you got the pink slip.
That's why you're wearing an Arsenal jersey, bro.
No, let's not go there.
Arsenal jersey. That's why. That's how you have the balls to wear an Arsenal jersey on this show.
Everything you said,
dude.
With the level of corruption is the reason why people are getting denied visas.
Arsenal lives matter, please.
They don't want the corruption to get into their countries, so they're denying these visas.
Interesting.
Shots have been fired. And let's just agree something here. We outnumber you right now. It's 3-1.
3 Arsenal fans?
Yeah, 2-1.
No wonder I felt there was this air of loss when I stepped into the room.
All right, so we take a quick break. When we return, the Black Table continues with our main topic tonight. We're going to be talking about side chicks. Have they helped? I don't know.
Babies.
Let's take a break.
Entertainment means to me, as in Nigeria, as an Africa, is in our music, it's in our art, it's in our culture, it's in the Batadan.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials. I want to start.
Okay, there's a video playing.
Office and what didn't happen. And after that, and you know, in all of these conversations, I probably would have moved from his legs and I'm sitting on him. This the wife won't do at home in most cases, but she doesn't have time. Me, I have the whole day. I have the whole time in the world because that is how he sees me every time he comes. So he's used to that pamper that he probably doesn't get at home. And what is he getting? Attention, sex, romance. That's it. That's all the married man wants from the woman outside anyways.
So how does that keep his marriage at home?
Good. So when he leaves me, he spends 45 minutes with me, he's calm, he's relaxed. Whatever heat is at home, he can deal with it calmly. He can deal with it way better than if he just drove from the office in that traffic and he goes home straight. He'll be angry, he'll be agitated, he'll be like, you know what, I just want to go upstairs and rest. But when he has spent that quality time with me, whatever madam is saying at home is fine.
Side chicks are one of the major reasons a lot of men still stay married. Side chicks are single, independent, intelligent ladies that are not yet married. So please, to all the beautiful married women out there, I want you to give yourself peace, focus on your home.
All right, welcome back. Interesting things we heard from the ladies out there, and of course, the last person to speak was Blessing CEO, and of course, the girl talker was talking earlier about the importance of side chicks, which is one of the things we're talking about today. Side chicks, a curse, a blessing. Side chicks have been around since the beginning of time, but now it feels like it's a part of the culture. Some say it's destroying homes, others say it's keeping some homes together. Yeah, I said it. And so let's help dissect this madness. We've got a very brave lady joining us via Zoom tonight. Give it up for Minengibi Lillian Maxwell. She's a Nigerian fashion designer and creative director with over 7 years of experience in high-end women's fashion, celebrating and styling and, you know, creating
styling side chicks.
Yeah. I call you Nengi. Hi, Nengi.
Hi.
Okay, so good evening. Welcome to the Black Table. We have Quincy Jones right here to my right.
Hey,
We've got
Nengi.
Kingsley
How are you?
to my left, and of course,
Nengi.
Tien Gang over there. So, gang, we have Nengi join us. Nengi, by the way, you're the second lady to join us on the Black Table ever.
Thank
You're brave. You're brave. Good to have you.
So let's start with you, and then the gentlemen on the table can further the conversation. Let's start with what you think about side chicks. Are they a blessing or a curse to the institution of marriage in today's world?
Okay. Can we start by saying that there's already a social conditioning in place whereby Nigerian or African women, as it were, have been raised to believe the concept of men being polygamous by nature. We should start with that first, right? And this has normalized the idea of infidelity. I would call it infidelity. I know we're getting somewhere. Furthermore, I would say a marriage should be a union of two individuals. However, in certain demographics or cultures, it's permissible for a man to have more than one wife in order to, for more than one wife, right?
Okay.
But what we have here in Nigeria is this. In order to be socially acceptable with the Western culture, we marry, the men marry
just
one wife.
One wife, yeah.
And then that's officially, and then, but they still have all this polygamous by having other partners, one or even more side chicks. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, I would say that it's something that has been, it's something that we can't, it's not a fight that we can even win as women.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Really, Nengi? Okay.
Yes.
So you say women won't win this battle?
Why? Because women are at the center of the other side?
Okay.
The side chicks?
Okay. So, you know what, Nengi, it's time for us to hear what the guys think about what you said. Do you think a man can stay faithful to one woman? Sorry, let me take that back. Scratch that. Do you think a Nigerian man can be faithful to one woman?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes,
absolutely. Okay, Kingsley, yes, definitely.
Yes.
Gang, the most faithful man in Lagos.
It's very possible.
So, Nengi, all the gentlemen here,
I love you.
Except for myself, I'm not giving my feedback yet, which I won't do anyways. I'm not going to say what my thoughts are. But all three of them have said men can stay faithful to one woman. So what else should we be exploring? Why is it like a thing? Why do you think it's normal for the average man, rich or poor, to want to have extra women out there?
Well, I like, it's just basically how we've been raised. It's just in our social construct that this is what we believe. This what
the guys are shaking their head though. Like
no. I agree with that.
You agree or you disagree?
I agree.
Okay, gang got something to say, Nengi.
No, so here's the thing. Even before I got married, I know the tales I used to hear. The things I was told on how long can you stay faithful? Every married man does this. Every Nigerian man is like this, like that. At some point, maybe after 10 years of marriage or 15 years of marriage, you get tired of your wife. Sometimes wives even recommend it.
That to you.
A lot of people were saying that. Do you understand? So I understand what she's saying in terms of culturally, that is the narrative that's being pushed to let people know that this is possible. Because the institution of marriage is being attacked. That is the honest truth. The institution of marriage is being attacked.
I agree.
So the temptations and everything is coming from all angles. And here's the funny thing. There's so many women out there that are ready. Almost all women are willing to be number two. They're willing to play. They're willing to play second fiddle.
I don't think
Nengi will agree. Just because.
Nengi, do you agree with what Gang is saying?
If it wasn't for moral values, a lot of women will be willing to be a second fiddle to another man, because most women want the same kind of man when they tell you they're spec, tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, that's me.
So a lot of women are willing to share, especially if they cannot have a man or do not have a man. They're willing to share. So that's where the side chick syndrome comes in.
All right, everyone, please hold your thoughts. We actually asked other people about what their thoughts are on this, and we'll check out the video. And right after that, we continue with our discussion.
Different guys, different reasons. But if you ask me, if you must have a side chick, that side chick is probably there because your wife is inaccessible.
The real foundation for marriage is broken because that's trust, that's love, that's loyalty.
You didn't fix up. You're outsourcing. You don't know, say men by nature, their body they do like ego. Whoever.
If you have a side chick outside, you already know that the marriage has been defiled, right?
One day, if there's no trust in the relationship, there's no it's going to keep a side chick.
And a woman, you know, say they know to get time for that thing. So if you get side chick, don't just let your wife know.
Subconsciously or unconsciously, you find yourself comparing whoever it is, whoever the third party is, with, you know, your wife or whoever. Do you understand?
But it will help you. Mentally, you will do okay. It will help you behave. So if you get side chick, you have to make sure you give them everything. If you say you want snake in the monkey shadow, you do snake in the monkey shadow.
If it's okay for me to base this on my religion, so there will be no need for you to, you know, go into side chick venture. If you already like believe that practice that you can marry another woman apart from your wife.
There are reasons why men cheat.
I feel like it should not be adopted, but at the same time, you should make women realize that they need to up their game. That's people that actually marry.
When you get a wife, they go say, this far, no further.
You are not.
All right, so interesting take on everything over there. But Kingsley, yes, there's a reason why you're on the show. You're a relationship coach.
Yeah.
Now, talk to us about your thoughts over this. Over the years, you've met with different people, different couples. Do you think that society has created that pressure? One, do you think it is biologically possible for men to stay faithful? And number three, do you think that women, over time, they've encouraged men to seek this more?
Okay, I hear you. And I'm going to answer the question maybe from the back.
Okay.
Right. Have women? Have women encouraged men to seek side chicks?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the years of
answer now.
No. I need to.
It's a rhetorical
question. I need to bring context.
Okay.
I need to bring context.
Gotcha.
Now there was something Nengi said, and then I'll move from that perspective. That culture has conditioned women to expect that men can not be faithful, or men should be polygamous.
Do you agree to that?
Huh?
Do you agree to that?
The question I was going to ask is whose culture? Now, do you understand whose culture?
Because,
thank you. My dad used to tell me growing up. He said, Kingsley. He said, if you don't want problem in life, don't get married. If you feel you can handle problem, marry one. One. He says, because inside one woman is everything, every problem, every joy, every pain, everything you need to make you a thoroughly balanced man. If you take two, you are beating more than you were designed to chew. That was my conditioning. Okay? So if you said it is culture, then it means that it is up. Either the culture of your environment, because in psychology we say there are three things that conditions people. Number one, your environment. Number two, a significant emotional experience.
Okay.
And number three, your upbringing. Okay? So all of these things condition people. So if you are exposed to an environment where infidelity is normal, like social media is an environment.
Yeah, it is.
So if the reason we banter about all this side chick thing and all of that, like it is so much, is because social media promotes it. Excuse me. I've been married for 17 years. I'm a businessman. Sex is not everything I'm thinking about. Right? I got problems to solve. I got bills to pay.
Challenges.
I got
challenges. Challenges now.
My brother, until they keep up motivational speaker, all of them no go rest. You understand? You see, whatever the issues are, there are different things that you as a man are thinking about. And if you've been married as long as I've been married, there are nights where you just want to hit the bed and sleep. You're not always thinking about being on top of one girl or another. Let's get it clear.
Distraction.
Do you understand me? So.
But I want to say something quickly. You're speaking for yourself.
That's me speaking for
and
myself.
Not for many other men out there.
So I'm coming from the place of culture to conditioning to conviction. Right? So we have to put it in context.
I like that.
Right? Culture, conditioning, and conviction. And what I've just shared is my conviction. Now, if I take it back to my profession as a licensed family life practitioner, I have seen different things. Right? And in the different things and the different experiences I've had with couples and where you have infidelity, my brother, temptation will come. Whether it comes as a side chick or whether it comes as a house girl
or secretary
or
colleague,
whatever. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. My problem, please. Temptation will come if you have not built the discipline as a single man to stay single. Even when you get married, the discipline will not suddenly baptize you.
Nengi, you've listened to Kingsley. What are your thoughts over that?
I can barely hear you.
I said, so you heard all the things that Kingsley just said?
Yes.
Okay, do you agree with him?
I agree with him, yes and no, because I think that we should also be very, very practical here. A lot of marriages are crumbling because obviously one of the reasons would be like infidelity, or someone is taking you, even on social media, you see, oh, this one has taken this one's husband, in quote, or like they say, whatever it is. But we can't really run away from this idea. This is an African thing. It has been before.
Wait, she's getting somewhere.
She's an African thing.
Bro.
No matter, obviously, I grew up from I didn't grow up from a polygamous home, but this I know from my environment, from what I've seen growing up, even up until now as an adult. So I don't think that if we're being honest, if we're being like really honest, this is the norm in Nigeria, and that is why we're even having this conversation.
So Negi,
I think
Negi, please
Negi, can I ask you a question?
Carry on.
Negi, I want to ask you a question. First question is, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Have you ever been a side chick?
Who?
Have you ever been a side chick?
No.
Would you be willing to be a side chick?
Never.
So that means the culture that you're talking about does not affect you.
Why?
So I'm not saying what is
not exist.
Why? Why doesn't it affect you? Because my point of view is the fact that not as those side chicks is not happening everywhere. That's I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm saying that side chick is not happening just because it is a cultural norm. No. It is happening because of personal indiscipline.
Okay, so at this point, I want to ask a question since you've talked about cultural indiscipline. Nengi, thank you for your answers. I'm going to Quincy Jones. Quincy, have you ever double dated before? You're thinking about it, so
no,
that's a yes.
Actually, funny story. No. Double dated. No. Right? Cheated. Different. Yes. Now, wait. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. One, the concept of having a side chick being cultural is may I speak freely? It's absolute garbage. Right? Hi, Nengi, not you. I'm speaking to the general concept. Terminology. The concept is garbage. It's not, Baba. I'm sorry. I recently reviewed majority of my relationships, and I've been a faithful guy. I surround myself with faithful men. Bro, I go out. I hang out. I'm everywhere, bro. I'm where you are eating fork and knife, and I'm where we're popping Dom Perignon and where we are drinking scotches at the same time. You see? All facets. I surround myself with... I'm here with my cousin. Nothing. Say you one day cheat. Or there's no time for that. We're working back to back. We're trying to hustle. We're trying to make money. If he steps away from his wife or needs a break or me and him, we turn game for my house. He goes back home or comes with his wife. And the three of us play together. But it's a functional life.
Okay, so because we've got just a few more minutes. I need you to quickly say
land, right? Yeah. Surround yourself with the right people to build an environment that nurtures a certain mentality. Aha. Baba, I'm not one of them guys. Side chicks and P? No, man. But being a billionaire,
the reality.
What's time to be knocking random?
Here's the thing: the reality to what Nengi has said, especially in this day and era, is that there are a lot of single women out there that are willing to be with your husbands.
And that's why he said temptation.
And those are the temptations. And a lot of husbands are agreeing to do it. If your wife is not giving you action in the bedroom, if your wife is not giving you peace at home, and another girl is willing to give you some of that, men are willing to take that risk.
Let me say this is going to sound very off-brand, right? Look at the most unfaithful boys. Look at the most faithful guys. Bruh, a very off-brand, right? The most faithful guys are guys that have seen it all.
Most faithful guys, okay.
We don't see. There's nothing else you want to give me. It's vagina, bro. I'm sorry. It is vagina. That's all you got. At the end of the day, and he probably stank.
At this point,
you think of it that way, you'll be safe.
At this point,
it's off-brand.
At this point,
there'll be pink slipping you every time.
We need to do.
I'm kidding.
Nengi, there's something we do on the show. It's a tradition. It's a culture. It's called Just a Tip, and it's basically you giving an advice on everything we've talked about so far. So, Nengi, tonight you're taking just a tip.
What? What did you say?
I said tonight you're taking just a tip. It's like an advice. It's part of our tradition on the show.
Okay. Well, can I say something?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So I would really say it's really commendable, and I'm really I'm amazed to hear men speak like this. And actually,
compliment.
I really am really happy, and I feel like there's hope for Nigerian men because
I feel like giving you a standing ovation, Nengi.
There's hope for Nigerian men. If we have more Nigerian men that think like you, I feel like things will get better for marriages.
Which one of us?
Are you married?
Everybody,
I think two speakers.
I'm the one that's not married.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, Nengi.
Yeah. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
All right. You know what, Nengi? Thank you very much for joining us on tonight's edition of the Black Table. Your presence lit up the entire studio.
Of course.
And of course, I want to say thank you to the gentleman who joined us on the Black Table today. Quincy Jones. Nengi just gave us something.
Okay,
there's
so yeah, we shake.
Okay. Quincy Jones, thank you. Kinsley, thank you. Tien Gang, thank you.
I'm here every Friday.
And of course,
yes, sir, you are.
For myself, it's been a beautiful edition of the show. This is Toast of the Week. We'll be going to the faithful men out there.
Yes, please.
Men who, against all odds, defy the culture, the Nigerian culture of side chicks. So,
toast to
all the men. Toast to all the men. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. On a final note, I want to say something. I think the major reason why Nigerian women feel comfortable being side chicks is totally economical.
I was going to say
on that note,
because they're affordable, that's why men can afford it.
Economical. On that note, remember the darker the night, the brighter the stars. It's the Black Table. Catch you next week Friday. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
Now what you want?
After that day, the man
you no go see him again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey friend the husband, you not see sign say the guys, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person we go give them to you, fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get fault. If baby not dey for her, na the woman.
Talk no dey be person you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we know say if we open curtain in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We no even take responsibility for the children.
Leave the man. And that's some poria.